Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. How about those Eagles?
Yeah. It was a blowout.
I always wanted to say that.
I
don't care. I'm not a Eagles fan.
Although
Eagles fly.
I'm sure a lot of people wished it would have been a closer game. It was a complete blowout.
It was a blowout. Yeah.
That
first half
kudos
was...
to anybody who bet the Chiefs to go scoreless first half. I don't know who had the balls to pull that, but you got good odds if you hit big if you bet that bet.
Yeah, chat room is already saying that they are going to be mad at your take. They can feel it in their prostate.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Just automatic.
Mad at my take?
Automatic football hate towards you immediately.
What are they mad at?
But I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. They are already.
Well, what do you see next?
All right, so let's get into it. Let's start with. Did you watch any of the pre-coverage?
No.
They had like Post Malone. You could have watched his. Tailgate at 4. So I thought that was very cool that the NFL, it's never been a better time to have access to anything and everything you want to see. Because if there's a concert going on, you can bet your ass that the NFL is going to live stream it on their YouTube channel. So I started off, I tried to check in with some of that to just kind of see how it's going. I thought it was pretty cool. Lots of access, tons of stuff.
I saw Post Malone and Shane Gillis in that Bud Light commercial, and I'm sure a lot of SNL people are looking at Shane Gillis like, my God.
Yeah,
they're like, I would have sworn this guy wasn't ever going to be nothing.
Yeah. Remember those Asian jokes he said? And we canceled him. Oh, there he goes. There he is.
And how much do you think he got paid for the Bud Light commercial?
There's an extended cut. I know
over
that's
$1 million, right?
Dude, there's an extended cut of that commercial that's like a 3-minute. It's like a 3-minute like mini movie. I don't know, but I would imagine he got paid more than $1 million
for the work that those commercials take. That's got to be the best paycheck of any comedian's career or any entertainer,
right?
Yeah,
it's just all day. You sit out all day and drink Bud Light, and then they give you a buttload of money, and you hang out with Post Malone all day.
It's like a one-day shoot, maybe a couple days. They have to do some other, whatever. But
a lot of that
millions.
We know people that have done these, and most of his scenes were done in one day. Any of that other stuff, like Grandpa riding the lawnmower, they can do that on another day. The crowd cheering, you can do that on another day.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So
did you put any money on this?
I talked about that. I thought the Eagles were going to win last week, but just like everybody, you were afraid to bet too much because you're like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, you've seen this guy win so much.
He's a winner.
And apparently everybody was right, and it really does matter who has the actual best players on the team.
Oh.
And the Eagles
the best defense, right?
Yeah.
Does this lend itself to the defense wins championships?
This looked like a lot like what happened against Tom Brady and the Bucks, where they just couldn't do anything because they were rushing only 4. They didn't even have to blitz, and the pressure they put on Mahomes. And then
it was working.
When you don't have to blitz and you could just drop back in coverage.
How many interceptions did he end up throwing?
A lot.
Couple? 4?
Yeah. I mean, it was apparent at the very beginning that there was no way.
It was a mismatch.
Yeah,
the Eagles are just a superior team.
I even during the middle of at halftime, the Chiefs were plus 16.5, and
I was jump on it.
Yeah, I started betting the Chiefs plus 16.5. I bet them plus 17. I was like, 17. I took that, lost them all.
Yeah.
I did take a couple bets at plus 23.5. I thought I was going to lose until that Xavier Worthy long bomb.
Worthy's a stud.
So back to the beginning. So I had some money on whether someone was going to cry during the national anthem.
Yes.
And I know Andrew and you in a group text.
We were
like,
watching it. Yeah.
So I'm watching it, and I'm betting on the fact that Chris Jones, I like to call him Crybaby Jones.
Crybaby Jones, yeah.
Is going to cry again because he did last year.
Yeah, he
screwed
cries
me.
a lot.
And so he cried during the playoffs and everything. Anyway, so I'm watching, and then Trombone Shorty is doing what is it? America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're doing like a Mardi Gras like
a second line style.
Yeah. But it's very Mardi Gras, right? Yeah. So there's
I like
nothing.
the way you say that too. It's very Mardi Gras.
There's
He's
nothing.
doing a Mardi Gras here.
There's nothing really. It's more upbeat and festive than like a sad, poignant America.
It
Beautiful.
wasn't a sad, somber. It was more of an upbeat America.
Yeah, party song. Yeah. And then they pan over to Crybaby Jones, and he's already crying. And I'm like, oh, he's already crying. So then I was like, oh, well.
Wait a minute. If he's pre-cried, can he? Even,
okay, so this is what happened.
Can he even enter the bet?
So
he's too wet to enter the bet.
He already is crying during the party Mardi Gras trombone shorty America the Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a powerful trombone.
So I was like, okay, for sure he's gonna cry during the national anthem.
Yeah, he's just getting started. You thought, yeah.
But then all of a sudden, and then I started to get scared. I was like, wait a minute, maybe he's got it all out. For the trombone shorty, and like he's got no more for the national anthem.
No, he can do more.
So then it went back to him, and he's not tearing up, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna lose this. Then he brought up a tissue.
Yeah, he had a tissue. I saw that.
And dabbed his eyes, which I think was the only thing that saved me. And Crybaby Jones saved my bet, because if he didn't,
that might have been the tears from trombone shorty.
But if he didn't bring the tissue, it wouldn't have counted, because you wouldn't have saw visible tears,
right.
which was part of the bet. Anyway, that's how degenerate I am.
But I'm glad you're into it. So you won that one.
Yeah. And then, and I wrote a bunch of stuff down that I noticed. One thing was they started panning out to all the celebrities in the crowd. You know, like, of course, Paul McCartney was in the same box as Adam Sandler, who was sitting
next to...
And
they were yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's like, Adam Sandler's, hello, swine. He's like yelling back. That's Paul McCartney.
Yeah, they showed them talking to each other. And then, like, Paul Rudd was sitting next to Sandler.
And then I saw Bradley Cooper.
He announced the Eagles on the field.
Massive fan, right?
Yeah, he's a huge Eagles fan. So then they pan over. They're doing because it was a blowout.
Bill Cosby was there.
Bill Cosby wasn't there. It'd be funny if they shot milky white eyes. Like, what's going on?
I put that picture up in the medium group of Paul Rudd versus Bill Cosby, because that was like, it's like, this is Philly versus KC.
So they pan up to another luxury box, and there's Kevin Costner.
Yes, I was watching at the same time.
Yeah. Sitting with Pete Davidson.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that was a weird one.
Weird combo of celebrities.
It was weird.
Are they friends? Did Costner invite Pete Davidson to his luxury box?
He got all his tattoos removed, right?
Pete Davidson? I think I saw some interview where he got a bunch removed.
All of them, apparently, because he would get them, I guess, when he was having tumultuous mental episodes, and he doesn't want necessarily reminders of that. And he also likes acting, and they're not really good for acting. But when I saw that, I thought the same thing. I was like, what are they talking about?
Weird combo of celebrities.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Do you mention the divorce to Costner?
Well, he's going through a divorce.
But it's the most expensive one in the history of divorces, right? Or something like that?
Oh, his Costner divorce?
Yeah. Isn't he like a...
Well, the most expensive one...
What do you talk to Costner about?
Jeff Bezos will go down in... I think there will never be someone who will beat him as most... Because
there's not enough money.
Yeah.
We don't have enough currency for anybody else to do it.
Yeah. Like, he paid out the most to his wife of all time. I think it'll never.
I forget about Costner too. I forget about him. I forget that he's hyper successful right now just because of Yellowstone. We think oh, that's a dumb old man. It's not. He's super successful right
and relevant.
now.
Yeah. Although, I think the Yellowstone popularity has diminished a lot.
It's waned.
So another story that I found remarkable of the Super Bowl was Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
Right? The cornerback for the Eagles, who's a rookie.
He got a pick, too.
Pick six.
Yeah.
First interception of his career was a pick six in the Super Bowl.
And he's 22 years old or something, right?
22, and it was his birthday.
Yeah. Okay, it's gross.
So and
he looks like he looks like a child in the face.
It's even bigger than this. The fact that he was drafted. This is his first year playing. He's rookie year. He makes a pick six in the Super Bowl, first interception on his birthday. It's an insane story. But even more than that, I started thinking about it. This guy's a white cornerback, which was also a big deal at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Because there was like an 18-year drought of white cornerbacks in the NFL from like 2002. I think like Jason Sehorn was the last one.
They're just out of season.
And
they just didn't have
like, and this is like, I started looking up like why, and I've asked this question before.
I
like,
didn't know he was white until I saw him.
Well,
You know what I
Cooper
mean?
DeJean?
Yeah, because I would
yeah.
just assume he's a black guy. No
Yeah,
offense, but you would just assume that.
Yeah, because he's a quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah, and that position is played
Correct.
always by
That's an
black
interesting.
people.
Where'd you get the stat? This is interesting.
Well, it's always been like the white cornerback was, especially like this year they drafted 2, and Cooper DeJean was definitely the most popular of the one or whatever. And then I think a couple years ago they had a safety that went to cornerback and played. But
Gotcha.
it's rare, insanely rare. So think about this guy's story. He grows up in like. And he watches the NFL. There's nobody of his race as a white kid playing cornerback position, right?
Yeah.
All through his childhood.
Was he always a quarterback? So he's
I'm not sure.
dedicated.
He's probably, those athletes, they probably play a bunch of
bounce
different.
all around.
He probably played quarterback when he was in Pop Warner just because he's that good of an athlete. Anyway, so I'm sure throughout his career as cornerback or safety, people had been telling him like, hey, you may want to switch positions. There's not white quarterbacks. Like it had to have been talked about, right? Like he's an underdog story.
Well, even if not talked about, he knew about it.
Yeah. No, of
regardless.
course. Yeah, I'm sure people told him, and even like, hey, your chances of playing cornerback in the NFL at that level is rare. There's not other people
But
that do
maybe
it.
just
Your
an
race.
athlete, he's just like, I'm an athlete.
Sure.
I'll do anything.
Yeah, but there's been plenty of athletes throughout. I mean, why was there an 18-year drought of white quarterbacks in the NFL?
That's an interesting thing.
I read some article, and
there's got to be a reason why.
It just like it's one of the hardest positions in the game to play because you're reacting to people's movement, and you have to react in such a fast twitch way.
Well, without being penalized.
Yeah.
But there's an art. It's obviously there's super skill.
Like I think I saw an article like in Travis and Jason Kelsey's podcast. They were talking about this, and they're like, the position's so hard that white people can't do it. Like like only black people can do it.
Right.
But it's.
I mean, if they're talking about their football players, I trust it. Like I don't know. I'm not a football player, so I don't know.
And it is just something about like that particular position and reacting, and you have to have such fast twitch muscle reaction that is something. I mean, the internet's there, research it. But anyway, back to Cooper DeJean. He's playing this position, and his like all this probably adversity he has to go through, and then like unlikely that he'd ever be a cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah,
being
but he's
white.
a really good one too.
And and then he gets a pick six on his birthday in the Super Bowl his first year. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, at an age that I don't even know if it can sink in. That's what I kept thinking when they would cut to him. I'm like, oh my God! Like I was trying to remember what it felt like as a 48-year-old man, what it even felt like just to be 22.
No, I know,
and I got nothing.
Hey, it's so insane, and on your
Good
birthday,
for him,
the Super Bowl is crazy. So let's get to the halftime show, which
well, everybody wants to talk about that. Everybody's got opinions on it, which I find to be insane. I don't understand why
every year you have to have an opinion on it, like it or hate it. You have to put it out there on Facebook.
Why can't you just be like, who cares?
Well, why? Like, I don't need to know what your dinner was last night. You just put it out there. That's better. You put your opinion out there, and it's better. And it skews negative. You'll get more reaction.
It's got to be skewed negative. My favorite was in our own BDM group that was like, "It sucks." Period.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it when people put like an opinion on there and then be like, I did it for you. Duh.
Yeah. Like this is the end all be all of opinions, and it has to suck.
It's art. That's not how it works.
Yeah. It's subjective. It sucks to you. It's the best to someone else. And that's how it works.
Yeah.
And if you look at it just totally objectively, and look at it like, all right, this is one of the biggest live performances in the world. Right, the Super Bowl, and
there's only a few we get per year, right? Of like events.
Well, as far
if
as
you think about
a
it,
live, I don't even know of another live musical performance that we ever even watch. The Super Bowl is it.
Yeah, maybe there isn't one.
Like I don't. There's no other live musical performance that the world watches all at once. You know what I'm saying? Like Live Aid back in the day or something.
Well, when you think about it like that, though, what I'm saying is like once a year, it's the thing.
Yeah.
Like there's really not. You're right. There's not much anything else out there.
So they put a tremendous amount of effort. The artists do, the choreograph, dancers,
the choreographers,
the stage,
the lighting,
everything. You know, so like
someone like Jackal, our good friend that does sound design, like just the sound design of how difficult it is to do sound design within a stadium.
So you're gonna get a quality performance as far as they're throwing the most amount of money at it.
Well, you got the most famous rapper in the world. Like, what do you mean? He's the most famous rapper in the world.
But subjectively, you could say, this isn't for me. I don't know this music or whatever. Now, I will say this is one of the first Super Bowl halftime shows in my memory that I would think the majority of the country was confused about what was going on and didn't know. Like, they may know Kendrick Lamar, but they definitely didn't know SZA, and they didn't know Mustard.
They certainly. I will die on that hill. They certainly didn't know who Mustard was.
Because I was thinking about this because because we do this for a living.
It was the right time, but the wrong guy, Tom.
But because we do this for a living, like I know I'm out of touch and I'm a dumb old man and I don't know much about what's going on.
Okay.
But this show does keep me in the loop with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I consume TikTok, so that helps me.
You're not oblivious to the world. I
talked to Daniel. Daniel knows music.
No, but I think you are, and I think people are going to want to give you like S or whatever about like not being plugged in. But I would bet my life on it that if I asked you what was the main idea of the halftime show, you'd be like, oh, it's Kendrick versus Drake. You'd say that.
Okay. Well, I took something different. Because I thought it was more of like an America, like what America's doing.
Super deep.
Yeah. Because Sam Jackson's like out there dressed like Uncle Sam. He's saying like, you're acting too ghetto. You're doing this wrong. Like I feel like because maybe I was trying to get it.
And then Serena Williams, remember she's crip walked before at Wimbledon. And then the headlines were that she was too ghetto to be there.
Yeah.
You know, where is her place within sports? Where is her place within tennis? You know, that was kind of cool.
I didn't know she even dated Drake. So when I saw Serena Williams dancing, first, like, I saw him, like, is that Serena Williams?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
She's beautiful. And they were like, holy smokes.
I was like, she must be friends with Kendrick Lamar, and then he just invited her out to dance.
That's really the only one that I did know. When I saw it, I go, oh, yeah. Ooh, ouch.
But I didn't realize it was that she dated Drake, and that was all wrapped into it. And I'm sure a lot of people. Anyway, back to me knowing a little bit. Yeah. But I compare myself to the average
you know
Joe.
more than most, though.
Yeah. So, but when he brought out first, I forgot SZA was a girl. I think
that's fair.
Because she came out, I'm like, who's this?
And You've heard the name a million times. You've never.
I said it on the show. I said SZA's coming out, but I never looked
correctly too. You didn't say like SZA or.
I thought that was another male hip hop artist, but that is a woman.
Yeah, SZA is a woman.
When she came out, I was like, who's this? And Chris was like, you just said SZA's coming out. That's her. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was a dude. And then when Mustard, I had to look this up. Obviously, when Mustard came out, and everybody. Cheering.
Are your boys watching?
Oh yeah.
What'd they think?
They were like they don't know. They know some of the songs from YouTube.
Maisie knows all the songs because of dance.
The dance,
She has no idea what they mean. She has no idea about the beef. She loves they're not like any Kendrick Lamar song she knows from not TikTok. She has a kid social media thing she's on. I forget the name of it. There's a kid social media thing, and all the songs are on there. She knew every freaking song. I was blown away.
From dance, it makes sense, and honestly, I wouldn't know any of Kendrick Lamar's songs because I consume TikTok. There's a lot of TikTok with Kendrick Lamar songs in the background.
Chat room.
So I didn't even know.
Chat room figured it out.
What?
It was your Wu-Tang roots, Jizza.
With what?
That's why you were like,
it's like
yeah. You know.
And the thing is, I like hip hop, and I think I enjoyed the performance because I know the "They Not Like Us" song.
It's a great song.
And
Song
some
of
of
the
the other
summer.
ones I don't know.
Song of the summer.
But again, I'm just like I'm done with I just take the halftime show for what it is, and I realize how old I am now. I'm turning 43 in like 5 days.
Yeah.
And I realized I knew this day was coming, and at this time where the halftime show performances will be people I don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for the most,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll kind of know, but
Jay-Z's in charge of all of that, right?
Yes, yeah. He's in charge of the halftime show.
How do you get that gig? And why? Why Jay-Z? I don't feel like I want him in charge of it.
I think because the NFL's smart enough to realize because they become cheesy and irrelevant if they choose. You don't want Roger Goodell, Jim. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll have Waylon Jennings out there, like you'll have the Beach Boys. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ladies and gentlemen, the last remaining members of the Beach Boys.
So I'm sure it's important to the NFL because here's another thing. Like for all the people that like hated, like what the hell's going on? They don't understand nothing.
I think that's stupid. Like the people that are like, it sucked or this is dumb. It may not be for you, and it may not be something that you would ever listen to, but just 1 minute of research and you can understand the amount of man hours, and it's just true poetry.
But
pure art.
But you also can say it sucks.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You say it sucks. It's horrible if you want. If you
I just think it's weird to yell that from the mountaintop, but that's just me.
So they want Jay-Z to bring in relevancy to the Super Bowl, and they want it. And I'm sure I
think he's too corn.
Because they know.
I think he's corny.
Because they know all the middle America people, they have no idea what's going on.
And with his Diddy connection, get him out of there.
Who, Jay-Z?
Yeah, get him out. Boo. Get him out of there.
I don't know anything about Diddy connection or
whatever.
Oh,
he's as Diddy as they get. I say you get him out of there, and you just I don't know. There's got to be a better way for us to pick. Well, I liked it better when the only complaint I would have for this one is that we didn't get I like it when we get a menagerie of artists. I've always loved that, and maybe I'm asking too much, but what Kendrick did was not bad at all. I enjoyed it, but you only brought out SZA. I wanted you to bring out 18 more people. I'm old school. I like it when you get Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson brings out Lionel Richie, Madonna.
Like when Madonna
Cyndi
did
Lauper.
Back in the day, Madonna brought out
everybody.
10 or a handful of other super
Bring out
famous.
everybody.
There's I guess I was reading this morning too. There's a reason Kendrick Lamar didn't bring Lil Wayne. And he kept it small. He didn't want because based on his he's building the whole story with Samuel Jackson, like Uncle Sam.
It was performance art.
And then there's he did the American flag part, in the Squid Game visual
the video game setup.
I read this whole diatribe from someone explaining every single thing.
It gives it way more value, right? Didn't it give it more value to you?
Well, I because I knew he was telling some story. I was lost to me, obviously. Old white dad, that has no idea what the hell's going on. Just like it was probably lost to everybody who says oh, this sucks. I have no idea what's happening. If you were a hip hop guy
though, regardless of race, if you were into hip hop, a couple of Kupo in our chat room are hip hop guys.
Yeah.
If you were already a hip hop guy, this was a home run for you.
Yeah, and I enjoy hip hop, and I liked the halftime show, and I liked this
just
performance.
Didn't understand it. Me neither.
I didn't understand what he was trying to show me. I'm okay. Well, Sam Jackson saying this is too ghetto. That's all I got. I know that was him saying what America thinks.
I didn't have my glasses. I was like, where did he get his costume from? Spirit Halloween. It didn't look that good.
Here's the next bet I lost.
People do love it when you lose.
Kendrick Lamar saying Drake. So he did say Drake.
Dude, I got all of this wrong. Remember, even before it started, I said he shouldn't do the song. I didn't want that vibe at my Super Bowl. I was wrong. He did a great job with it.
But then we knew he was doing the song.
Right.
And this is how little I know.
He teased it 6 other times.
I didn't realize that Drake's name was in the song's lyrics.
I didn't realize you didn't realize that.
I thought the whole it was just insinuated. The song was insinuated about Drake, but he never actually said it.
Like I'm young.
Everybody knew that it was about Drake, but he never, But he's because
No, he said it.
I didn't even hear him say it, but
that's why there's the lawsuit, the Shred Bears.
I did not realize this. Ignorant to it, and I didn't know.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest with you,
he admitted pedophile.
I think you're completely okay being ignorant to it because, to be honest with you, it is quite complicated. Like if you lined up a timeline of it. You can go all the way back to 2013 when these guys are taking shots at each other. You know what I mean?
But here's why I think most of our listeners are ignorant to it because I was talking about when we were talking about bets, and I was like, oh, he'll never say Drake. No one emailed me and said, like, Drake's name's in the lyrics.
Well, I knew it was in the song. I didn't think he'd say it. Like, I'm being dead honest. I didn't think, even though I knew he was doing the song, I didn't think that he would. It was a very ballsy move to, I mean, I guess the only thing he didn't say was pedophile. I guess he did call him by name, and he just edited the portion of the song where he does call him a pedophile. And, like, to me, that's ballsy, dude.
Yeah.
Like, because we know what you're doing. The whole crowd said it. We all saw it. We were wondering whether or not, the NFL legal team was going to even air it. Oh, they aired it. We know. We know what happened there. They can't even play dumb about it, right? Like, we know it's a song about Drake being a pedophile where he performed it and called Drake a pedophile. Don't even try to sugarcoat it. I have more respect that he did it. That okay, here it is. It is what it is.
Here's another thing. As we're watching, I think Max or Tommy's like, what's that A on the chain? On his chain, and then me and Chris are like, I don't know. And Chris is like, maybe it's his daughter's first name. This is how nerdy white we are. We're like, hey, I don't know. Chris
maybe
like,
he likes Fonzie. Fonzie is his name. Hey,
right,
give it a thumbs up.
She's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like
the first letter of the alphabet is A. I don't know.
That's how stupid we are. And then of course it's A minor, which is the whole song.
It's although I did question that one when Andrea told me that. I was like, oh, A minor, but like you're never gonna catch me wearing a necklace that has A minor. I don't even need that. Hang it somewhere else.
It's more of a visual diss at Drake, right?
There were tons of things in there that we're not even scratching the surface. I mean, you could go and like type it to ChatGPT, explain the whole thing, and it'll just like list it all out. But all in all, I thought it was good.
But I will say that I feel the most hate on social media from this particular halftime show. Like, I feel like it was more polarizing, where people either liked it or hated it.
Well, it wasn't for everybody.
Yeah. And I think it wasn't for the majority of people watching, I think.
No.
I think because think about how many white nerdos are in middle America that had no idea they probably didn't even know who Kendrick Lamar was. How many people watched it, had no idea, have never even heard of anybody?
A lot of your older people did not know who he was.
Yeah. And especially they don't know SZA Mustard. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea who this was. And if you're not listening on TikTok and you're out of the hip-hop world, you never even heard these songs.
Like my dad would have had no idea.
Yeah. Think about how many 50-year-olds across the country had no idea who the hell this was.
I'm sure we have some listeners that are our age that had no idea.
Yeah,
which is kind of sad.
Yeah. And again, I only kind of know.
Oh, you're holding up by literally by your fingernails, dude.
Think how crazy that is. That I kind of know.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm all comfortable. I barely know, barely.
So,
but it was good. Like I liked it, and like maybe I think what I really like about it was that they took a chance. Maybe that's what I like about it. It wasn't for me.
It wasn't the standard.
But it wasn't the standard. I like that it wasn't the standard. And I also like that they went for something. Like, because, like here I am talking about how, like, oh, give me the menagerie of all the different stars. Maybe that is too safe. Maybe that's too boring. When you do NSYNC, Britney Spears, oh, here comes Dr. Dre. Maybe that's just boring. Maybe this was the better play.
And the NFL one thing the NFL knows is marketing. That's how they make all their money, right? They make all their money through TV rights and marketing. Mm-hmm. So they know marketing themselves. These are, insanely smart marketing people and multimillionaires involved in this company. And they're like, if we put something, show together that is polarizing, it will be better for us. Because people are they're not going to not watch.
It's more, what I'm saying? It's more memorable than a show that is just a show.
Yeah.
It's the headline.
People talking, people arguing whether it's good or
100%.
not. This will be better for us, and it won't make anybody not watch it next year.
Yeah, and
they'll always watch.
And the coolest thing about it is, like, you may not have liked it, but there's no way it wasn't good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because they put all the money. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like no one's
That
gonna.
is the best of the best at hip hop you will get.
Yeah,
That is the best you get.
And everybody is they're putting together a good show. Anyway, so let's talk about Tom Brady and his
Crazy watch.
commentating.
Well, he's hard to listen to, man. He really is. He's a rough listen to.
He is awkward.
It's hard. And I've tried to be so okay with it. I was really mean when he first started doing it, and then I tried to like settle in and hope that I don't think he's getting better. I think he got worse because I think he decided that he wasn't going to do it anymore, so he stopped practicing.
He's not getting better exponentially. It's slow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
slow.
Like, he may be better now than when he started, but it's not a lot better.
No.
It's just about as
Very
awkward.
uncomfortable.
And it seems like
You are more comfortable in your most uncomfortable moment than he is.
Did you hear the joke about Kevin Hart he tried to make?
No.
It was the most nerd dad
Oh, no.
uncomfortable thing. So
Can I find it?
Yeah. You should look up Brady's Kevin Hart joke. So, of course, at the second half of the game, it's a blowout. So there's a lot more, looking at what celebrities are there. A lot more time for the commentators to branch off and do other topics. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when blowouts,
It's like when the Magic are up by 30, and then
you
starts doing some sort of trivia game or something.
You need
know?
to figure out a way to make it entertaining,
Yeah.
right? So they start showing celebrities, and then they show Kevin Hart up in the box, right? And Brady's like the other commentator was like, "Oh, there's Kevin Hart," and then Brady's like, "I'm surprised the cameras even found him." And then the other guy was like confused about what happened because they didn't know it was a joke. And then he's like, I'm just joking. I love Kevin.
Hold on, I think I got it.
Because
This is awesome.
then he
How do the cameras find Kevin Hart?
Well, it depends on the day, I guess.
Kevin, I love you. You took so many shots at me in May. I'm coming right back at you.
It's the roast revenge tour.
Oh my God, man!
it's so awkward.
How do the cameras find that guy?
And because the other guy didn't know he was making a joke.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't obvious.
Oh,
because
man.
Tom Brady's awkward and not good at jokes.
And not funny. Yeah.
So he tries to throw in a joke. It lands horribly. Then he's like, no, I love you, Kevin. It's like, I just have to give you some razz because you got me back in May.
You were so mean to me. I'm getting you back, buddy. That's how it works.
And by getting you back, I barely made a nerd dad short joke that wasn't even that harsh.
Well, it didn't make any sense. It was hard to understand.
Yes, yeah.
Like, it actually sounded like he was like, how do the cameras find Kevin in the crowd?
Yeah. It because
How
he's
are
a
they?
bad comedian.
However, are they ever going to find Kevin Hart in that crowd?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have said like the cameras had to pan down to see him. Something was more obvious short joke.
Oh, you see the top
but
of
he's
his
not a
head right
comedian.
there. There he is.
Yeah.
You just make it.
Well, you're good at
Well,
this.
I'm also short. Like, you just be subtle. Right?
He is bad at this, and his attempt to make a joke was horribly awkward.
This is it for us and Brady, right? We're done with. Isn't he going to go full Raiders and we don't get him back? Please say we don't get him back.
I think he wants the money, because they'll have him back. They're never going to fire him.
No.
And so it'd be up to him to forfeit the money. I think you would
But
just
he's
keep doing
bad,
it.
and we all know he's bad, and we're just going to turn a blind eye to it, right? Because he's not going to get better. He's not.
He may.
No, you're being too nice. He's not going to get better.
He may get better after a couple years.
No, we don't have that much time.
But I think he's coming back. Like, I don't think he's going to give up that money.
He's bad. He's really bad.
And I don't think the criticism bothers him because he's so used to it.
Put him on the Nickelodeon Slime Time broadcast until he can, work his way up a little bit more. That's what I say. Do you have anything else from any commercials? Commercials are not a thing anymore. That's not it's like, we've already seen all of them, right?
The Willem Dafoe, what's her name?
Catherine.
O'Hare.
Yeah.
That pickleball commercial was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But
You
you're
know
right.
what?
The seal commercial
Yeah.
was kind of funny. I wrote that one down.
I'm gonna say
Esa simple pieza en medio del carril es capaz de detener un tren a...
Of Catherine O'Hara out that someone took a close-up photo of her mouth.
Yeah.
And she has brown horse teeth now. And after I've seen that, I can't look at her the same.
Well, she's an older
I
lady.
understand that.
You know,
I understand that. And it's the
at her
internet,
age,
it was
I'm gonna have brown horse teeth.
I already have them. But like, thank God, I'm not popular enough for people to like take a photo and put it out there, right?
Yeah. Oh, was Kendrick Lamar wearing bell bottoms?
He was wearing a flare. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he
so
was.
Is that cool?
I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, it
seemed
can be
odd.
It can be cool.
Okay.
He'll get clowned a little bit for it.
All right.
Because I think as an urban artist, I feel like maybe that would be a little effeminate, but it's also quite popular right now. Like Travis Kelce was dressed the most ridiculous of anyone I've ever seen, right? That guy looks like a turd.
Well, he
looks dumb.
He showed up like with some razzle dazzle.
That's why you shouldn't wear
suit,
that way. You shouldn't dress that way because you have to put that on after you lose.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
He's got a loser suit after. It's not the same
no,
one.
I think he had the same one.
Oh, it's the same
when
one?
He went up,
okay.
there is like a video of him going up to see the families after he lost, and he's in the same stupid suit. And I'm like, that's why you don't wear it, you dum-dum.
I thought they brought a winner and a loser outfit.
I think he had the same one on. I could be wrong. The chat room tried to find the video, but there's video of him going into the boxes, and he's dressed like Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous. He always dresses like a D-head. Why does he do that?
For the attention, because he knows that he's the most popular story. I mean, beyond Mahomes, like he's the other player that everybody highlights, which is ridiculous because I'm sure all the other players are like, well, I'm way better than this guy. So why? It's all the marketing and, the story and. So it's not
Patrick Mahomes laughing is the worst sound. It is the worst sound in the world.
I'll tell you about another bad beat. So another one of my bets was under 2.5 players throwing the football. Right. So this is a bet that I'm betting on the fact that they're not going to run any trick plays and have any other players like, throw a Philly special or, sometimes you let the wide receiver throw the ball.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of that this year.
Yeah, but I'm like, no one besides Mahomes, they're not going to give the ball to anybody but Mahomes. And then I figured on the Eagles, I'm like, who else is going to throw the ball? Like, we've seen this happen where the Lions tried to do this, and it was a horrible mistake in the playoffs, right?
So they tried it, or the Cowboys tried it too, didn't they?
So then the blowout happens, and I'm like, well, this bet's safe. Like, it's fine. Like,
sure.
Even thinking in the back of my head, like, well, they're never gonna bring in a backup quarterback. Because like Jalen Hurts, like just hand off the ball to Saquon the rest, just around the clock.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And as like the person who's obviously gonna win MVP of the game, you want to be in the game the whole time, right? You want every snap of the Super Bowl. You're not gonna just because at this point at the end of the season, it's not like I'm gonna get hurt, and you're handing the ball off.
Well, I can't see Jalen Hurts going out.
Yeah. So I'm like, this bet, I mark this down as a winner. Then I'll look up, and there's Kenny Pickett. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, why is Pickett out there?
The chat room said
yeah. So they did bring in the backup QB for the Eagles, which is Kenny Pickett, formerly of the stinky Steelers.
Yeah.
And
you wrangled with the Steelers this year, did you not?
By the way, what like a plus 1 million bet would be back in 2023 if like, will Kenny Pickett play in the Super Bowl? It's 2025. You'd be like, no way. Like, he'll never play one time. I'll bet my life on that.
A lot of people didn't even know he was on the Eagles.
So all of a sudden, I knew he was on the Eagles, but I just assumed like they're never gonna bring in like.
Why would you?
Because you would think, and it must be because, and then I found out some backstory, like Kenny Pickett was an Eagles fan growing up and stuff, so they obviously just let him go out there and have a couple snaps just to say
because he was an Eagles fan. That's why they did it. That's why you lost your bet.
Also,
you lost your bet because Kenny Pickett is a Eagles fan, and they wanted him to have fun.
It had to have been that because they must have been like, hey, let's bring out Pickett just to let him have a couple snaps. Now, here's the thing. I was still winning my bet. 3 runs in a row. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, he's just going to hand the ball off to Saquon. Yeah. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm safe. Then it's 4th down. It's like 4th and 11, right? So I know it's a blowout. It doesn't matter. But I'm like, at 4th and 11 midfield, like they're just going to punt it away, right? And then have Mahomes try to, even though there's really no chance of them winning, but you play conservative because it's the Super Bowl. You don't want some crazy thing to happen.
Don't blow it.
Everybody's like, oh, like I remember when Brady came back 28-3, where everybody's talking about it. So it's like 4th and 8 or something, and then Pickett's. I'm like, okay, they're gonna punt it off, or whatever. Then all of a sudden he comes out in 4th down. I'm like, no, what is he doing? And then he throws it. He did. Incomplete, but it doesn't matter because I lost my GD bet. And then I was like, God. So I was like, why? Anyway, so that happened.
And that was that your most confident one?
No. I mean, there was I ended up winning. Like I took some Eagles minus 2.5 and some stuff like alternative lines. I just thought the Eagles would win, and it was dominant. Like and I did start betting on the Chiefs like when they were up at like when you get
fourth quarter
plus 20, plus 21, plus 23.5. I got which. It was a miracle that I covered those because if it wasn't for that long bomb,
the bomb,
that I would have lost those too. Because I looked at it, I was like, they're going to get completely annihilated.
What all in all for the year? What would you say your betting, your gambling, up, down?
Oh, complete waste of time.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even know.
Yeah, okay.
I don't track it that often, like that far, but I'm probably down $100 or whatever, but betting hundreds and hundreds of dollars throughout the year.
And stressed out, very stressed out.
Yeah. The amount of stuff I consume, it's just complete waste.
Okay.
I look at it, I'm like, there should be better things I can do with this time. Spend time with my family. I can do more exercise. I can even
charitable work.
Yeah, anything.
Like work at a soup kitchen.
Complete waste of my time.
Let's start working at a soup kitchen. It's a good thing to do.
So horrible Super Bowl blowout.
Yeah,
but
not the most fun to watch. But all in all, any Super Bowl is a good one for me because we get to.
If you're an Eagles fan, and I feel sorry for Giants fans that have to watch Saquon Barkley.
Right to the top.
Yeah. They're like, that's got to be rough where you see a player that play with you for so long and then one
like
trade is in the Super Bowl. It's like, God damn.
The Eagles are like, this is all we need. Okay, thank you so much. And here we go.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time from the podcast Fish-n-Brits. We've got Adam and Wayne here on the couch.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
How you guys doing?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Drank a little Super Bowl. Drank a little on the Super Bowl. And haven't been drinking and went, rough.
You went straight in on the Super Bowl night?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
The whole weekend.
Yeah. Weekend, which is
I saw you start drinking on Friday.
I had some on Friday. I wasn't going to, and I did, and I should have done it. It's bad.
You know, that just builds up the stamina for Sunday night.
No, it's bad. It's bad. But anyway, good to see you guys.
Welcome. Thanks for having us back.
Oh, man, thanks for being here. Make sure you go and subscribe to their podcast, Fish-n-Brits, wherever you download your podcast.
That's the one.
Apple Podcast,
Just to remind everybody, Adam and Wayne are former, I guess, residents of England, and now they live in the United States and Florida. You couldn't
have said that more awkward.
What are we?
I was scared.
I was scared too.
And you can tell that we both footballed yesterday because we are falling down the stairs all morning.
Did he Google us?
What?
We are former colonizers.
Yes. What is they saying English is weird to me. Like they're former English.
No, that's okay.
Formerly from England.
I guess
that did get weirder.
Formerly from England. Yeah, I guess I'd never thought about.
We're still
expats.
English, but we're formerly from England.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
Expats that live in the United States now and kind of talk about the difference in culture between England and the United States. And I wanted to jump right into that difference in culture and talk about the halftime show.
Okay.
All right. So I'm sure you guys watched the Super Bowl yesterday.
Yes.
Or did you?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. And so what do you guys think about American football's halftime show?
It's something completely alien to us. The FA Cup, which is probably the most similar thing, doesn't really do that. You go back to the pundits halfway through and have a chat for 15 minutes and then back onto it. It's not as big a spectacle as the Super Bowl is, but I love it. I mean, we come from the entertainment industry, so anything that gets more entertainment out there, do it. It's a fun time.
Here's my argument to
The
why
Brits don't seem to like it, though, because I don't know if you guys know this. Tom and I were pretty instrumental in bringing the halftime show to
Orlando City at
Orlando
one time.
City.
It was embarrassing.
and I think most British people hated us for it.
It was a disgrace. I think it was a disgrace to everybody.
Two fat Americans in charge.
And I'm like, this game needs a halftime show.
Right.
And I'm like talking Orlando City.
And who's the king of Orlando halftime show?
Hey, what I'm going to do, I'm whipping a baseball and a stocking cap around in a circle.
Yeah.
And then we were kicking balls past Kingston. I get involved Jimmy in that one.
Yeah.
But
we had a lot of. We tried to get famous people involved.
So here's why I'm mad at the English here.
Okay.
And everybody in Europe and basically the whole rest of the world that doesn't do
solid
halftime
welcome.
shows.
Great.
And because I looked this up, I was like, why don't soccer? They don't do any halftime.
Why don't
shows.
soccer got no? Is that what you're gonna say? Is that how you're gonna say it? Why don't soccer got no halftime?
I'm like,
put that in your chat GPT.
I'm like, does the EPL ever do any sort of halftime show or the World Cup or
everybody's
anything?
too busy getting drunk and betting.
That part.
Yeah.
Right? Like you get up and you go to the window.
And then I'm looking at the reasons, and everybody who's a football fan is like,
You don't have to say it like that.
They're like, oh no, this is the beautiful game. There's no need for American shenanigans, and we don't need any halftime show. There's commentating, and then back to the action
Yeah,
of
we
the
don't
game.
need some solar company out there got a sunshine dancing around. You know, like-
They're like, it's all about the game and nothing. No, we don't want any goofy music or any sort of.
You guys are mean to your stars.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
The best players are like, he's having an absolutely dreadful first half.
They're making a lot of money. I want to see you do something.
Get on with it.
Yeah.
So here's my argument against this, right? Because I'm like, okay,
I thought you were a business guy. This sounds very nothing but business. I thought you would like that.
But well, first it's an insult to Americans because like they're saying they're
Everything's
too good for
an
it.
insult.
We're very sensitive.
Very sensitive.
We're very sensitive.
They're like, they're like, we're too good for a halftime show. Like, we're too good for that. And they're like, but my argument is, why not? Okay, you have a stadium full of people. Okay, you don't have to televise.
Some of the
it.
most people, like you guys are 80, 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Those are massive, impressive stadiums.
There's 100,000 people. Now, I understand there's no break. So, like, the break during halftime, they use it for people to go to the bathroom. But there's still, the whole stadium doesn't empty out. There's still people in the seats, right?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there, and there's nothing going on in the field. Just bring out a band or something.
They sing.
They do?
We're
There's a
chanting
bit of
along.
chanting
Yeah.
No, that's
you don't like that. And he certainly doesn't like any of this. When you do your hands like this,
Well,
he hates that.
The crowd. If I'm the crowd, I'm like, I paid a lot of money for these tickets. This whole organization's making a lot of money.
Well, they're chanting.
But no, bring out some sort of entertainment, right? You can do that. You have the ability to entertain.
But they don't.
Yeah, no, we're dissing on the other fans. That's our entertainment.
We're perfectly
Giving them a
happy.
hard time.
You forget the thing that British people love to do most is just sit quietly and moan.
Have a good complaint.
15 minutes to do that.
Oh, no, that's what you like to do.
There you go. That's our
You should be
halftime
enjoying it
entertainment.
more.
Yeah. I think that what we've wandered into is that I think you love this more. Like you act like you hate this, but this is something you like to do. Sit around, look at everything, size it up, and then complain quietly in your brain.
That's it.
Is that how you do it?
What a great day.
Do you have British ancestry?
What a great day.
But if you're just
I think I'm a
sitting,
natural.
Yeah.
like
I'm doing it right now.
We are.
all I'm saying is the people in the stadium would, I think, be like pleasantly surprised if something happened on the field.
Well, you can't
They
drink in
wouldn't
the
be-
stands, right?
They
Oh,
would-
you.
Oh, yeah.
You
yeah.
can? You
That's
can
the
drink?
other part of the reason. I don't want to stand up.
That's the thing.
Well, you know, I mean, you were just sitting there. It's like they're just watering the field or whatever. Nothing's happening. There's some players on the sidelines or
warming up. Yeah.
Just, I mean, bring something out to entertain you.
No,
Right?
they're not going to do it for you.
They have the resources.
No,
you can do it. The
they're not
people
gonna-
do it for free.
And what's also
Why
troubling
not?
and maddening?
I can't
is that-
imagine why ADHD is far more prevalent in America here.
Yeah.
This is
Also, the other thing that you guys have, which is crazy, this will probably drive him mad, is that you guys have some of the best musicians and some of the best bands. You could totally do it. There's
one of the Spice Girls just to
one.
sing.
Only one.
just
Yeah.
one.
He'd love
Yeah,
that. He'd love that.
yes, well, David Beckham, he got his way with the Spice.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, anything. Just like you have everybody there. You have their
Hologram
attention.
Amy Winehouse.
Just do something.
Anything.
But the fact that you're too good for it, that's what gets me. You're like, no, nothing. We're going to do nothing.
I kind of
And you
like
have
it.
just understood the British people
Yeah.
in 10 seconds.
Somebody sent me a video years and years ago when Arsenal, who's my favorite, EPL team, had just they were like revising the look of Gunnersaurus, which is the long-necked dinosaur, and it's him walking out in his new costume, and it's all the real gunners, like, standing there like the old-timers that are all booing their own mascot
He looks
because they
ridiculous.
think it's stupid that your soccer team, which is called the Arsenal, the Gunners, your weapons, and we have a dinosaur.
Yep.
And they're like, "I'll hate this blipping man,"
Yep.
boo. And they're booing the man in the dinosaur costume because it's not just we want soccer, it's soccer only, no time for anything fun.
That's why our tickets went up for
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
That's
For that
it.
costume. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The price of a pint for a dinosaur.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So let me just pitch this to you. So
Okay.
you guys are sitting there in the stands. You don't have to go to the bathroom. You're sitting there waiting for the second half to start, right?
Right.
And you're sitting, you're drinking, whatever. You're
We only have
mad,
like
you're
15
grumpy.
minutes, right? It's quick.
15.
It's quick.
And then let's say there's 15 minutes. It's not like so, but let's say the last 8 minutes they bring out the robot goalkeeper. Have you ever seen that? That arm.
Oh, the
that-
unstoppable arm. I love that. I'll watch any of those videos. I'm such a sucker for those videos.
And then they roll that out, and then they let some of the audience try to kick against
some
the
fat
robot.
slobs
Yeah,
kicking.
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
watch
yeah,
any
yeah.
fat
Yeah.
slob kicking against that thing.
I mean,
Two left feet.
You sold me.
And then you're drinking, and you're like, "Oh, that's funny." Right? Like that would be better than nothing. And then
You need
get
to bring this
nothing.
to England.
They
You and I,
have it.
we're going to go to England and we're going to
Let's
pitch
do a
this.
combo. We'll pitch it.
We're going to start pitching this.
Oh, you wouldn't be mad if they did that, or would you be
Probably mad because it's different.
mad? Oh, you
It's
hate
new,
different-
it's different. We don't do that.
Yeah,
Literally
we're
running for our
straightforward.
lives
Yes.
to the streets.
Yeah, straightforward. That's all we do.
Ripping our clothing off like trying to kill us.
I just feel like the audience would just be like, "Oh, okay, there's something." Just instead of just staring off into the the watering the field, something.
You know,
Gotta
Meghan
keep the ball
Markle
fast.
was the last American who tried to change stuff in England, and see how that happened.
It
So
didn't
we
go
don't
well.
want to do
That didn't go well.
Didn't go well. Didn't go well.
Yeah, that was a spicy period in time for a minute. What else has been going on with you guys? What's new in your world with the show? What's going on?
Oh, we're still carrying on as we are. I'm at the Pirate Show still. You've got some wrestling coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, I got some wrestling shows happening with local pro wrestling and
Killer, man.
the theme parky stuff that we do.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Hold on, are you wrestling or are you just
Oh no.
commentating?
no! I'm a wrestling manager. The
okay.
dastardly D Wayne. He's a very bowler hat, Richie Rich lad. He's got a criminal for his wrestling guy who comes out and beats everybody up. So
All right.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a Bobby the Brain Heenan.
You guys should come out to a show.
I would love it. I
Oh
would
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Bring your sons
we do
out there.
we do shows at the Showcase of Citrus.
Oh, okay.
The last Saturday of every month.
I like
yeah,
that
yeah.
spot.
They're
Yeah,
a great
that's a
time.
good
I know nothing about wrestling, but they're a great time.
Yeah, he came out. I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah.
I keep telling you.
But I get to see you thrown out of a ring, and
Yeah,
on your,
yeah. I do
that's
get
great.
my comeuppance, of course. I'm the Bobby the Brain Heenan-ish,
Yeah,
who was
yeah.
my idol. But
that
yeah.
your- what was
he
your
was my
guy?
favorite manager, Bobby
Yeah.
the Heenan. Oh yeah, Bobby was
Bobby
awesome.
was awesome, man. Like my dad and I remember we used to watch the show that Bobby Heenan did with Gorilla Monsoon that would come on like really late at night.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was just like a clip show for WWF.
Yeah, and they were behind the desk.
Yeah, they're behind the desk. Yeah, that was
all
like-
improvised.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they
and
just
he could
riffed.
riff.
Oh god, he was so quick.
As far as improv goes,
So
and
quick.
kind of like he'd throw in like not a dirty joke, but like something a little
Innuendoous.
little spicy.
Yeah.
I remember when we first went to a wrestling match, you tried to get me to equate it to Shakespeare to get me to understand it. We were working it out in the form of plot lines and stuff. I'm like, all right, well, I can appreciate this. So it's a good time.
Yeah. Just say theater and he'll go.
Theater, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
All sport is theater.
Now, this may come off as an insult, but there's a
shocked.
reason.
Really?
There's a reason I don't go to local like entertainment stuff.
Yeah.
Is because it makes
See
me
too many of those Drunky the Bear fans from back in the day. Too many of your own kind walking around.
It makes me extremely awkward when someone's trying their absolute hardest in front of a small crowd.
Oh, okay.
Not that you guys have a
Yeah,
small
yeah.
crowd.
I was
but
going to say. Wait a minute.
you guys could have a big crowd. I don't know this, but I went to an amateur wrestling event when I was a host at back in the radio days.
I know what you're talking about.
And
yeah.
it was
No one showed up.
It was an insight into local amateur wrestling, which I was like, there needs to be a documentary about this because all the dudes that were there were super pro and very professional and
yeah.
and organized and then like planning everything out and like like the amount of detail these guys were going through.
Yeah, it's legit.
And then I'm doing an announcement, and I'm pretty sure this was a money laundering scheme over in Kissimmee.
Absolutely.
Oh,
was.
Kissimmee, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Some sort of drugs.
Because I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm drunk at the Bear. I look out, and there's one person at a bar getting a drink, no one there.
Yeah.
And then there's some people that were like friends of the wrestlers that were like standing
Probably
in the corner.
other wrestlers. It's like comedians.
Yeah.
You know, like they
Yeah, we
kind
all
of
come out.
Yeah, they all kind of hang out.
And then I was doing the math. I was like, wait a minute, they paid like $3,800 to the radio station for this, and all these wrestlers are getting paid. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like $10,000 event
they?
in front of nobody.
Money's gotta go
No, the
somewhere.
Some
wrestlers
of them
were-
are.
yeah. But and then they put on an insane performance,
Yeah, yeah.
and I sat there and watched them. Nobody's in there. Like, there's no one watching them. Like, they're friends and family.
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are dedicated to their craft. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a
These
text
guys are
right off.
amazing. I have
awkward.
nothing but respect for the guys that wrestling in those rings because those rings are hard. Like they suck. They and the stuff these guys do, and most of the young guys, we have to tell them all the time, guys. Don't kill yourself. Like, why are you doing a 180 into the crowd of chairs that no one's sitting in? There's no one watching you do that. Save that for when you get on TV.
In the middle
you know?
of Claremont at the showcase.
Yeah.
But you know what? YOLO. That's just how I live.
Yeah, man. That's what
Like
I
I
gotta do.
can't. Sometimes
I
I
gotta get
want to. They call me 180 Daddy. I got a 180 everywhere I am.
Yeah.
If I'm alive, I probably got a 180.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait till you get that new hip. You'll be 180 and everywhere. Buddy.
Oh man, I cannot wait! I met my doctor this morning. He looks like Keith Urban. He's beautiful.
Nice.
He's absolutely stunning of a man.
I got a new hip for you, son.
No, I know he's 42. He's gorgeous. He's one of the most beautiful looking humans I've ever seen in my life.
Highlights?
Well, Valentine's
No,
Day's coming up.
natural blonde surfer boy, surfer boy.
I might need a new hip myself
I'd
now.
eat him up.
That's weird that you made.
I figured-
What a segue.
No,
I
but
don't know how to respond to that.
No,
Yeah.
no, but think about it. Think about it for a second. This man's gonna he's gonna open me up. I'm buttering. I'm giving
then
him
he's gonna do
nothing
surgery.
but compliments, right? Right?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what I'm doing. I'm literally telling this person that's going to open me up that I care about them, that I think they're gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with that.
Did he think it's weird?
He might have thought it was a little. He didn't laugh at many of my jokes.
I can't wait to hear what you say
doctor.
under anesthesia. That's going to be waking up.
And he told me I get the Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cannot
So you
wait.
walk backwards.
Cannot wait.
So I noticed you guys brought some treats.
Obviously.
Yeah, thank God, because I'm getting thirsty.
Yeah, come on. As we're early today. It's morning, so we thought we'd bring
11.
you. It's 11. We thought we'd bring you some breakfast.
A segment from our show, 11Zs,
11Zs.
where we bring out a British treat.
You've guaranteed you've had
we
this
did it
one
last time we were
before,
here.
but we got you some oatmeal.
All right.
Oatmeal for breakfast.
There you go. A good Guinness.
Okay.
We need shares in Guinness at this point.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Wayne, you don't
Boy,
want
do
one,
we.
do you?
Yeah, hurry up, I'm
you go.
thirsty.
How's Guinness as a company doing?
Apparently they're doing very well.
Astonishingly well after this last year.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Split the G?
No, what is that?
It's
I tried to do it last night. No
Yeah.
dice. No dice.
If you get a Guinness in a pub, the glass that you have into has Guinness written on the side, and you're meant to take your first mouthful and get it exactly down to halfway in that gap in the G.
Okay, and that's what split the
And that's
G
the
is.
split the G.
Okay.
And a lot of pubs started doing it. If you do it on your first try, you get a free pint. And this caused a shortage in the UK of Guinness over the Christmas season. They
There
were
was
having
panic.
to ration out barrels of Guinness to all these big bars.
What a brilliant marketing idea.
Right.
Like,
It's genius.
Amazing.
They're like, let's put out something that makes people chug our product. The first one. We'll sell a lot more.
Kind of makes me think of like, peanuts in a pub or something, like the first time that was there.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Just something salty to continue people's,
That'll make a drink more.
I'll just drink 5 more beers then.
Yeah.
Let me ask, are you familiar with the craft beer scene in England right now? Like, I know you guys live here now, but it's like, is craft beer as popular in England? Because I would imagine that would split the market share of Guinness. There's a lot of probably craft beer, local stouts.
Well, if you want to go into the industry science of it, you've got 2 types of pub in England. You've got a pub that is run by a specific brewery, like Green King. They were a big one.
Okay.
And you've got what are called free houses. Those are the ones where the landlord can choose whichever beers they want to go on the tap. If they're owned by the brewery, that's one of those. If not, and they're rough. I believe they're about half and half split. But there are so many little breweries that have popped up. Well, not even popped up. They've been there hundreds of years. I think we brought some Sam Smiths on last time. That one's been going for probably easily 200 years on that one there. And back when I lived in Hampshire before I moved over there, there was one pub that I can't say the name of on the radio because this is corporate time. But all of their stuff was brewed literally down the street.
Is it the N-word?
It's the N-word pub.
Yeah.
It's not the N-word,
Oh,
but it
okay.
has...
Well, when you say you can't say a word, that's the only
first thing we did.
Go that first. Sorry. Anyway, I just wondered if the popularity of craft beer and like craft beer breweries have taken away from some market share of Guinness.
And none
but
of my
it's
No,
I
not
don't
really.
think so.
It's still... I mean, in craft beer in England, it's not like here. Everything is... It's pretty much more traditional there. It's stouts, it's darks, things like that. We don't really do the sour, the flavored, all of these. A marshmallow beer that I had the other day, beautiful. Wouldn't get that in England. You'd have people, saying you've changed something. And we know they don't deal with change well.
Right. And there's really not a market for that there then, right? Or not as much.
Not as much.
Gotcha.
Not as much. But yeah, no, a good quality, well-brewed beer, that'll go down far more than a sour or a flavored beer.
And is Guinness still have nitrogen in it, or is that?
The way that the can is created specifically, right?
Yeah, you've got a little widget in the top there. It's
the ball in there,
that's the little ball in there. That's the nitrogen, so you can drink it as if it was being poured from a tap.
What's crazy is at the Orlando Science Center Beer Fest, there was a home brewer that had beer brewed with nitrogen and beer brewed with CO2, I believe, or whatever.
So you could try the difference.
And then so you could see the difference. And I was like, this is a gimmick. Probably not going to be I'm no beer connoisseur. I barely notice things, so I'm like, I probably won't. And you could definitely tell the difference.
Yeah. It's a lot smoother.
The nitrogen, and it makes sense. Of course you can, but it was shocking how much I could tell. I was like, man, it does make a difference.
Same with coffee too. I've had some coffee that's done that way, and it just, for whatever reason, it just seems to work very, very well.
Now, flavored coffee's starting to make its way over there. They finally got Dunkin' Donuts. They never had that when I was there.
Really?
Yeah, that's finally over there.
Interesting that they didn't have. What would be your go-to for coffee in England? Without
Costa Coffee was the big one.
Gotcha.
Starbucks was a thing over there, not as big as over here, and Cafe Nero is also a good one.
Yeah,
I didn't do coffee till I moved here.
So not a thing.
Tea drinker.
Tea.
Yeah, tea.
Do you guys still drink tea now?
Oh,
or?
yeah.
Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon.
Is there a specific type of tea that a good British person would, like a brand?
I think this is something we both agree on, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's yours?
Tetley's.
Oh, no, we don't agree on it at all. Mine's Yorkshire.
Okay.
Yorkshire. I'll drink both.
Yeah.
But I'm a Tetley tea bag.
Yeah. And so you wake up in the
tips.
morning, you make do you make just boil water? Or?
I'll make the coffee in the morning, but in the afternoon when I want to sit down, I've got a fancy teapot.
Oh, yeah, he does.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's got the British flag on it, and it was sent over from England, and I make it in that one. You're a commoner, so you stuff it
I'm
in
a
mug,
commoner
don't
from
you?
Liverpool, so I just put it, get a good mug that hasn't been washed, dunk it back in, boil the water, let it sit, bag out, milk, bam.
Yeah.
Milk. No, nothing to.
I don't do
sweeten
the sugar. I used to do sugar. I used to do 2 sugars, but I
Yeah.
cut the sugar.
Yeah. Sugar's bad for you. It's a poison.
Yeah. Well, my doctor said, you know,
that's what my beautiful surgeon
you have a heart
said.
attack.
Yeah.
So cut it
He's
down.
telling me that while I was trying to kiss his face.
No sugar,
He's like,
daddy.
you shouldn't eat sugar. I was like, come here, you.
Now, we do have to clarify, though, that the
Dr.
correct
Sugar.
way to do tea is you boil the water, get it bloody hot. Say that. That's not a swear word. Put the tea bag in it. Well, put the tea bag in the cup, boiling water on that, and then let it just sit. Ignore it. And then take the tea bag out and put milk in.
Yes.
Tea bag and milk should not be in the same cup at the same time, ever.
I believe it's illegal.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
I like that.
You know how disappointed I was when I realized that the British people were drinking tea that wasn't the sweet tea that I knew of. I
know it's weird, right?
This happened a
You're
long
like,
time ago.
hot?
I'm
What do
like,
you mean, hot?
I like tea. And then I remember Phil Rollins gave me somebody. He's like, you want some tea? I'm like, oh, okay. Man. Why is it hot and there's milk in it?
Why is it bitter?
Tastes like leaves.
What's with the plate?
Yeah.
Why do I have a
It's like
plate?
milky leaves.
Yeah. Why not just drink coffee? Some good old Lipton iced tea. It's completely different.
Yeah.
20 spoons of sugar.
Now, do your families drink tea as well? Is that
Yes.
something that is
Oh, yeah,
passed
yeah,
on?
yeah,
Okay,
yes,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I remember having tea. The best cup of tea I ever had was always still made by my grandma when I lived with her in England. She could make a great one. She used to have Tetley.
Oh yeah. My mom makes the hottest tea in the world. I have the same kettle she has, but her tea is always like 10 to 20 degrees, always hotter.
Yeah.
Like you get tea and you go,
Yeah.
you have to leave it sit for 20 minutes before you drink it. But yeah, my mom makes a good cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start being fancy tea guy.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Too
I
much
think I can
work.
do that. I can do that here. No, it's not too much work. It's
No,
just
no,
hot
no.
water.
No,
It's
boil
less-
water.
it's less
bag,
work than
3
doing a
minutes,
French press
milk
of
done.
coffee.
Yeah, I think it's less work than coffee.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to heat the water. That's all the work.
Yeah, that's it.
Too much for me, though.
I'm out.
Set it and forget it.
That's why I like a sweet, cold tea. Just get it and drink it.
Sun tea, the laziest of all teas.
That's
right?
done. We'll get
Right?
some Fish-n-Brits teapots one day.
You put
That'll
like
be the merch.
two
Yeah,
cups of sugar in a glass jar. You put the tea bags in, and you just set it outside and let the sun bake.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
What was your guys' last show about? Again, Fish-n-Brits, anywhere podcasts are heard.
Yeah.
We had a great Christmas special. That one came out in December. We had great response to that one, and this is a great week to be on here because we're gearing up to start recording season 2 on Wednesday this week.
Wednesday we go
We're
in.
2 days away from going back into the studio to get our next 10-episode season.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Thank you. And we've got our Patreon set up now finally to try and make $1 or $2 every now and again. We'll see how that goes. But we're focusing on this 10-episode season. We've got some great people getting their stuff in so we can get some little collaborations with them. New British pubs actually just opening up down the street from us. We found that today. So we're hoping to get involved with their grand opening as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Fish-n-Brits.com is where you can get everything.
Yeah, go there and like and subscribe. Make sure that you give them one of the. It really helps out. Like local podcasting. I know we went through that phase, I think, a couple of years ago where everyone had one. Now I think we're done. We're out of that again.
Yeah.
Now it's like back to normal. So it really does mean a lot when you like and subscribe local podcasts that you listen to. It really does help out.
It does, and this year is going to be a big one for us. We're talking to a British television channel to come and follow us as a bit of reality TV.
That would be
Oh,
awesome.
really?
Yeah, that's in the works.
So that's coming up.
That would be killer, man.
Yeah,
well,
man.
keep us, in the loop.
We will do.
hopefully.
Absolutely.
And thanks as always for stopping by, guys.
Thank you,
Hey,
guys.
thanks for
Love it
having
when
us.
you
Thanks
come
for
by.
sharing us. You
Thanks
guys are
for
the best.
oatmeal. Much
You're welcome.
appreciated.
Cheers.
We will take a break and come back right after this.